should all just settle the fuck down, because this is not my A game. This isn't going to be a very good show. I don't have a lot of stuff. I really got only about 2 bits, so we'll all be out here pretty quickly. I didn't really know how much I hated a certain type of person until very recently, and I'd like to tell you about them. I'm sure you guys feel the same as I do. But before I start this, I want to do kind of like a little crowd check. Are there any black people in the audience right now?
Right here.
Okay, there's a couple, so I can still tell this joke. But the type of people I found out I really, really just can't stand, can't hang out with, are babies. I like that. Thanks, guys. So you thought I was going to be a racist asshole, but I'm just a baby-hating asshole. So it's kind of flip the script. But anyways, I really don't like babies. One thing, everybody thinks their babies are so cute, but they're not. They basically all look the same. I don't care if it's white, black, Mexican, Indian, other kind of Indian, Asian, whatever. All babies look exactly the same. They all look like insult comic Don Rickles. Just a different sort of shade of pudgy. And you can't tell the mothers that because you get punched. But the other thing about babies that I don't like, they're just kind of universally a bunch of selfish assholes. Like, if anybody ever tells you that you're being a baby or you're acting like a baby, what they're really saying is you're being an asshole, you're acting like an asshole. They're just trying to be nice about it, I guess. But they're terrible. You can't even correct them on their bullshit. They're just sitting around being a baby, whatever. You pick them up and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like that? Why don't you help your mother? Do the dishes, mow the lawn, get a haircut, hippie. They die. So basically, a baby would rather die than stop being an asshole for 5 seconds. It's like, oh, wait, you want to correct my bad behavior? Fuck you, I'm just going to die. And then they do it. So the other bit I have is this joke I've been writing for probably a little bit more than a year. So when you hear it, it's going to be really disappointing that this is what it is. But I had to give it a lot of layers. It's got a lot of characters to it. It's got a lot of plot twists. They go on a journey together. There's no punchline. Never ends. But I kind of got inspired. I call it my Reverse Aristocrats joke, but really it's not so different from the regular Aristocrats joke, only just kind of a different sort of theme, I guess. Anyways, okay, here we go. So a man walks into a bar. Right away the bartender can tell that he's feeling sad. He's looking down. Goes up to the bar, orders a beer and a shot, takes them quickly, and begins crying. The bartender approaches him and asks him, hey buddy, what's the problem? You look kind of down. He's like, oh, I just had a really bad week. Well, why don't you tell me about it? Maybe you'll feel better. It's like, well, I don't know, but okay, I'll try. So a couple days ago, I lost my job at the plastics factory. And as I went to drive home to my wife, who I love, my car was stolen. So I had to take a cab, and when I got home to break the bad news to my wife, I found out she was in bed with my best friend, and they were just fucking like rabbits. So I confronted them on that, and she got really mad, and my best friend ran out the door, and she broke it to me that she's never loved me, ever. And she's always loved my best friend. And then she packed her bags, packed my child, packed my cat, and went to move out and live with my best friend. I was feeling pretty bad, so I went to go check the mail, when all of a sudden a shooting pain just shot through my rectum and I passed out. I woke up in the hospital, and the doctor was standing over me and told me I had stage 4 anal gingivitis. It's fatal, but it can be managed with treatment. So every day I have to take a scope enema or Listerine. I thanked him for his time, and as I left the hospital, I got a phone call on my cell. I answered it, and it was my wife. She sounds kind of frantic, and there's some strange sounds in the background, sounds I can't quite identify. She tells me she's just been in a terrible car crash, and she doesn't think the EMTs are going to arrive in time. She's pretty sure she's going to die, and my daughter's also in the car, and that she's probably going to die too. She just wanted to tell me something before she died. She wanted to reiterate the fact that she never loved me, and she always loved my best friend. And also that it wasn't my kid, it was his kid, my best friend's. And then she hung up and died. So just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse, about an hour or two later, I get another phone call on my cell phone, and it's the veterinary hospital, and they want me to know that my cat, Monsieur Le Pouce, was just in a terrible car accident. He didn't make it. He was riding with my ex-wife. So, I go home and take my Listerine enema. Wake up the next day to go confront my best friend. And I kick in the door, all angry, and he's hanging from the ceiling. There's a suicide note next to him, and he says, the note says, I just can't live in a world where I can't constantly fuck my wife's best friend. I don't know where I am, man. I'm just in a really dark place. And the bartender looks at him like, yeah, that's a pretty dark place. That's pretty terrible. But, you know, there's probably worse places to be. I mean, you could be wherever Dean Cain is right now. I mean, think about the guy. He used to be on TV a whole lot, but we don't really see him on TV too often anymore. That's my time. Sorry, guys.